Halt! Stop right there. This video contains spoilers, alright? If you haven't watched episode 6 from season 2 of Mandalorian, click away.
Leave a like and then leave. So the latest Mandalorian episode was insane. But I'm not here to talk about the episode. If you guys want, I can make one every week where I talk about my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments. I want to talk about the man, the myth, the original, Jango Fett. And more specifically, the Civil War he fought in. Spoiler, it's not the Mandalorian Purge. Yes, some people thought it was the Mandalorian Purge. Don't worry, I'm here to explain. So Jango Fett actually participated in 2 Mandalorian Civil Wars. He participated in one in Legends as part of the true Mandalorians, and one in the new canon where his allegiance isn't confirmed yet. But I do have a theory. I'll come back to this one later. So for those who don't know, Legends is the collection name of every novel, video game and comic before the purchase of Disney. Since Disney bought Star Wars, they decanonized everything so they can start fresh, if you will. Well, everything except for the movies and the TV show The Clone Wars from 2008. So in the latest episode of The Mandalorian, we've learned that Jango Fett is not only a Mandalorian, finally, but he also fought in the Mandalorian Civil War. Meaning Jango Fett has a huge role to play in the Star Wars lore, besides of course being the donor of the clones. So not much is known about the Mandalorian Civil War in the new canon. But what we do know is that the war happened between the new Mandalorian peace movement and the Mandalorian traditionalists from around 20 years before the Clone Wars. The peace movement believed that their expertise in warfare had brought no lasting benefits to the majority of the Mandalorians who lived on the planet Mandalore. Well, after centuries of war, the nature of Mandalore was completely destroyed and water was scarce. Mandalore turned into a desert, so the new generations of Mandalorians will live close to a few remaining water sources that survived. So the peace movement wanted to uphold a pacifist ideology and get as many allies as possible, so they have a stable import of food and water and no more war to destroy the planet even more. The traditionalists are, well, you know, traditional.
Failure.
They wanted to uphold the warrior ways of Mandalore. There were those who were ruthless and brutal, but there were also those who were honorable, calm. So these two factions fought each other to get control of Mandalore. They wanted their ideology to remain on the planet. If you watched the Clone Wars TV show, you know who came out victorious. It's the new pacifist Mandalorians. The traditionalists retreated to the moon orbiting Mandalore, Concordia.
Master Kenobi, Mandalore's violent past is behind us. All of our warriors were exiled to our moon, Concordia. They died out years ago.
The traditionalists fought amongst each other until Pre-Vizsla united them all under a new group named Death Watch. So it is unknown for whom Jango fought in the new canon, but my theory is that Jango Fett was part of the Mandalorian traditionalists. The proof is of course that Jango has a code of honor, he's a warrior, and Jango is not part of Satine's new government. But there's also proof in the TV show The Clone Wars. Prime Minister Elmac is part of the new Mandalorian government against the traditional Mandalorians. He said this in the show.
I recently encountered a man who wore Mandalorian armor. Jango Fett.
Jango Fett was a common bounty hunter. How he acquired that armor is beyond me.
Elmac is absolutely disgusted that Jango is a foundling, and he's disgusted that he's a traditionalist who will be running around as a bounty hunting savage. So yeah, if Jango was part of the new Mandalorian movement, he would still be part of the government, right? So I think that's the reason why he's part of the traditionalists in canon. That was canon, but in Legends, the Civil War was different. There was a civil war fought between the true Mandalorians and the Death Watch, 10 years before the Clone Wars. The true Mandalorians were all about decency and honor. And meanwhile, the Death Watch were barbaric and violent, just like in the canon. After the leader of the true Mandalorians died in the war, Jango Fett would succeed him and lead the true Mandalorians. The true Mandalorians would face defeat though, after a Death Watch lie at the Battle of Galderaan. A Jedi strike team led by none other than Dooku almost eradicate the true Mandalorians. Jango Fett was the sole survivor of the true Mandalorian movement. Jango went for revenge and he broke the Death Watch and killed the leader Pre-Vizsla. Jango Fett distanced himself from the Mandalorian people and followed a life of bounty hunting. He took the moral values of the true Mandalorians with him and later passed it down to Boba Fett in hopes that Boba will rebuild the true Mandalorians. The code of honor did inspire the later Mandalorian protectors who were also seen in the new canon. Of course, there is much more to the Civil War in Legends, but it's just too much info for this video. So what I told you is basically the Legends Civil War in a nutshell, as well as the canon version. At least you know both parties, you know their ideologies, and you know why they were fighting each other, and you know who won. Because of course in Legends, the Death Watch won. But with Jango being a foundling and fighting in the Civil War, I think Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, the creators of The Mandalorian, have made elements of Legends canon. So I think parts of Legends, especially the true Mandalorians, I think those will be canon now. But we have to wait for comics and stuff to explain it more. But I do think Legends is more fitting for Jango anyway. With the true Mandalorians being bound to honor and keeping their word, just like Jango and later Boba, as demonstrated in the latest episode, I think that's much more closer than the Mandalorian traditionalists, who are more brutal than they are honorable. Maybe in this canon version, Boba will actually create true Mandalorian order back. You know, it will build it up again. Because in Legends, it was actually a clone trooper who built it up again, and the clone trooper created the Mandalorian protectors, who are pretty much the true Mandalorians. But yeah, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I want to know what you think about this. Did you know about this? Maybe you have some more additional info. Please let me know, because I want to learn. And yeah, that was it. I don't want to make it too long. If you have feedback on how I can improve my videos, let me know, and I'll see you guys later.